is for seeing. There's another eye called the eye of understanding. It is the eye of understanding that sees the things that cannot be seen. And he said that will not only happen, he said you will be illuminated with light. And the things you will now see will not be the answers to a biological question. The things you will now see, the Bible said, is the hope of your calling. Is the exceeding riches that the saints possess in light. And he said it is to make contact with the power, not just an ordinary power, the power that rose Jesus from the dead. And so when a man begins to see, the authority to engender resurrection is credited to him. Then nothing in your hand can die. And so the business can be failing, but because your eyes have been illuminated, when you touch that dead business, the business comes back to life. Where people are seeing crisis, you begin to see opportunities. And when you create things out of it, they are wondering, what did you study? It's not what I studied, it's where have you been? Ask me where I've been. I'm seeing what others can't see. There is an illumination that I have because I pray. When such things begin to happen, know that this person is going through transformation. They look at somebody, they say this person is wayward. When you looked at him, you saw a potential. You say, give me this person. And after 4 years, that person becomes the hope of a nation. And they are asking you, why didn't you write him off? I see what you don't see. That's what transformation does. It mortifies the propensities of the flesh that should limit you, and then it illuminates you until you only see from the realm of God. And finally, it transubstantiates you. And so you become like the God that you preach. You become like the God that you talk about. That's where things no longer fail with you. If you touch it, it changes. Because everything he is, you become that thing. Because when transformation is completed, he said, as he is. Not so are we in heaven. He says, so are we in this world. And so when we gather like this, we are not church members. That is when church becomes ecclesia. Because we become representatives of dimensions. And so those who are sitting at the left, when they say, who are those? You say, those ones, they understand times and seasons. So when things are about to happen, they tell us ahead of time. That's when we become strategic. We can come to church and two brothers will walk off to pastor and say, tell them to buy gold next month. Gold. And the pastor will announce, from next month, he invest in gold and he will go. You will not know what is happening. Those are the Issachars. If they tell you here, one can just stand up and say, change all your naira to dollar, and he will go. And you are wondering, why? What does that mean? It's an Issachar that is talking. He has entered transformation. And when he said, change your naira to dollar, after 1 month, 1 naira to $400 because 1 naira to $750. You didn't do any business, but you became a millionaire because an Issachar spoke to you. He sees light, and because he sees light, he journeys beyond time. He can come and say next week, avoid traveling. Avoid. We saw some things coming into the weather. We saw some things coming into the airspace. So just stay at home. You won't know why. Until we are transformed, we cannot be invincible. We cannot be a wonder to our world. But it will take prayer for you to go to this level of transformation. That's why Isaiah 40 verse 28 said, have you not heard? Has it not been said to you that the everlasting God fainted not, neither is he weary? He said he giveth power to the faint, and unto them that have no might he increases strength. And he said something that humbled me. He said, even the youth shall faint, and the young men shall utterly fall. You know what he's saying? The youths and the young men are the greatest strength of the human race. But he's telling us that our best advantage in the natural is nothing compared to God. He now said, they that wait upon the Lord, something happens to them. They go beyond natural advantages. They go beyond natural tendencies and proclivities. He said they renew their strength. They mount up with wings like the eagles. And he said when they run, they are not weary. When they walk, they don't faint. Now, if you read verse 28, the only one who runs and is not weary and walks and not faint is God himself. So what he's telling us is when we begin to pray, we become like God. That's what transformation is. So as God walks and is not weary, as God runs and does not faint, you too begin to walk and you are not weary. You begin to run and you don't faint, because in you is the elements of the God kind. That's why Paul said Christ in you is the hope of glory. But how do you activate it? You activate it when you marry the altar. So a point comes where the Christ in you will subdue you, and when men see you, it is the God in you they see. And so when they respond to you, they don't respond to you in the human order. They respond to you in the divine order, because the God in you overshadows you. We spend too much time on our human advantages. Somebody comes bragging for 30 minutes, it's about his certificate. How do you bring paper where spirits are talking? Certificate. Do you know how many PhD holders are jobless? Thank God for that.